Good evening, this is Sky News, and I'm Michael Ray.
And today we are celebrating the 147th birthday of the great French Impressionist composer, Claude Debussy. Debussy was one of the most influential composers of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. What you are hearing right now is one of Debussy's most famous pieces, the Clair de Lune, which translates to Moonlight. Achille Claude Debussy was born August the 22nd, 1862, in the town of Saint-Germain-en-Laye in France. Debussy started music at a very young age. He began piano lessons at 7 years old and started piano studies at the Paris Conservatory at age 11, where he shocked his professors with bizarre harmonies that defied the rules. While a student at the Paris Conservatory in Paris, he met Nezadela von Meck, who paid him to teach her children music. She showed him the works of Russian composers such as Mussorgsky and Borodin, who had a big influence on his music throughout his life. In 1884, his cantata Les Francs Prodigues won him the Prix de Rome scholarship for art students, which included a 4 years residence at the Villa Mercedi Academy in Rome. While there, it was said he became depressed and found it hard to compose. Some of his pieces were sent to the Academy. One of them, called
La Demoiselle et Lune,
was criticized as bizarre, but it showed some of the more stylistic features used in his later pieces. During the summer, von Meck traveled to Vienna, Florence, Venice, and Moscow. She brought Debussy along with her. At Vienna, they both went to a performance of Wagner's, conducted by Handel, which Debussy enjoyed. This type of music was a huge revelation to him. It made a huge impression on him, and he was heavily influenced by it, even though he didn't like to admit it. Its chromaticism offered Debussy a new perspective of tonal harmony, which he later rejected. Debussy's musical style was unique and strange at the time. He felt limited by the traditional style of music. Debussy liked to use unusual scale patterns, such as the whole tone and pentatonic scale. The chords that he used seemingly had no resolution, and were described by Debussy himself as floating chords. These were used to set the tone and mood in many of his works. Debussy once said, "There is no theory. You merely have to listen. Pleasure is the law." But it took a while for the critics and the public to warm up to this new and bold experiment in harmonic freedom. On the 25th of March, 1918, Achille Claude Debussy died suffering from fatal rectal cancer. He didn't get a funeral, but Debussy will never be forgotten and will forever be an influence to composers around the world. J'ai fini.